Be very, 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 very careful with your mix bus compressor if you're starting a mix with that compressor already on your mix bus. It can be a total trap because if you start building up that mix, chances are things get louder and louder and louder. They're pressing harder into that mix bus compressor, and by the time you realize it's reducing 12 dB on the chorus, if you try to take that compressor off, your whole mix falls apart. So I think what a lot of times happens is you put that compressor on too early, you start hitting it really hard, and then you kind of get to this quality plateau where things are getting better, they're sounding better, and then you start trying to get across the finish line and you just can't make it sound any better because you try to push up the drums in this spot, or you try to push up this guitar and nothing gets louder because it's just slammed against the mix bus compressor. So what I'd recommend doing is start by getting a balance of the whole song, just a static balance, all the tracks, then add your mix bus compressor very lightly and keep checking in on it as you move through your mix. Make sure that every time you change the levels of track or you add some compression to individual instruments, you go back and check that mix bus compressor and just make sure that it's not getting out of control. Or don't use one at all. I rarely do more than 2 dB of compression on the mix bus. That's completely dependent on the song. It can work, it can do a lot for your mix, but it can just as easily, if not more easily, completely ruin your mix. So just know what that's doing. And if you have a big chain of limiters and compressors and EQs on your mix bus, make sure that they're there for a reason, at least. At least make sure they're there for a reason. I don't know why you need that much stuff on your mix bus. If it gets you to the sound that you're looking for faster, great. But check in on those plugins and make sure you're not creating obstacles for yourself to fight against. And that goes for the production stage as well, not just for mixing. Sometimes you're trying to add something or to move the dynamics up to the next level for a new section, and you just can't because you're hitting a ceiling. Or you want to add some sick sounding snare drum to the chorus, and it's just not speaking because you have drum bus compression and you're hitting it, you're already smashed up against the drum bus compression. I would tend to work with as little compression as possible for as long as you can. Keep your dynamics intact, and then just be very deliberate and aware as you're compressing, especially larger groups, and most especially a thing, and most of all, the mix bus.